Yo, hold on. Watch this. Wait a moment. Bear witness to me and the glory I have been able to achieve today, folks. We've been trying to make a base that fills up the whole diamond. Take a look at this baby. It's not necessarily my favorite sound I've ever made or heard, but it is basically filling out the thing. And if we compare it, if we make a comparison to our Vengeant Wheels on the Bus base that we've been kind of like trying to mimic, there's some differences, but the shape in the goniometer is the same. Our curve is way better, way closer to what they've got going on. They still got a lot of high end going on, but like here's the thing. Like look at this, right? If you go in the low end, it's mono. It's mono until we get up into like around 150. It starts to get a little bit wacko, and then it starts to go all over the place, and then it's more all over the place until we get to the top, and it's like doing this like star. Right? Going in every direction just with the sound. Whoa, that's crazy. Love that, right? That's what they've got going on. Take a look at what we've got going on, folks. Oh, we're mono. Oh, we're mono. Oh, we're getting a little bit less mono. We're getting a little bit less mono. Around 150, it starts to become much less mono. And then it continues to just be wacko. Big ball all over the place, going crazy until we get up to the top. When we start to make a bit of a star, there's a lot less information in our high end. It's very flat there, but it is flat. It's always been doing this. It's always been bass up high over here, treble way down low over here. And now we've kind of got some high end up there. And our shape, it's mono in the spots where theirs is mono. It's wide in the spots where theirs is wide. I am proud of myself. And we made this a little bit simpler than our previous ones. When we were looking at like this dig it down bass over here, I had one for the mid and one for the left and one for the right. And specifically like the left was like directly out of phase with the right. So they were doing this while the mid was, doing its own thing. And so I made it simpler here. I just made a side and a mid. And the side I let be crazy. That's where most of that information is coming from. It's got a really hard cut here, starting at 250. Starting at 310 there and dropping off. But then the mid is just the opposite, completely mono, and it's got the opposite cut going on, where around 282 it starts to cut out all the high end. So the two of them combine and make a shape that looks a lot like what they've got going on. It's pretty cool. What is this sound design we've got going on here? This ARP square. We've got kind of two different modulations happening here. This is, again, FM synthesis. This is our FM wave. It's got kind of this table to it, and we're sweeping through that table in an opposite direction that we're moving the FM. So the FM is kind of doing this like wow shape, while our shape here is going starting from the top of the table, moving down. Obviously, the top of the table on a wave table is not like higher or lower. It's just a different position. But on a lot of these wave tables, it does seem like the more chaotic end of the wave table is at the top of this, and the default position is the less chaotic. So we're starting from the more chaotic and going to the less chaotic on this. And this one is moving the FM amount. This is moving where we're in the FM position, creating that wave shape there. And a lot of that high end we're getting is actually coming from this white noise that we are putting directly through this filter. And so it's going, and you can see that's giving us a lot of that high end up there. Having it go through the comb filter just made it a lot more of an interesting like sound instead of just like psh, 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 going over the top of it. Honestly, not that complicated of a sound. I just set up, I kind of stumbled across this by just kind of going through different FM wave tables. I set up kind of the automation the way I wanted it to, and then just sat there and just tweaked things until it sounded good. And there's still a lot more mud in this sound than there is in Vengeance sound. I think there's just a lot cleaner, but we did make the shape. We made the shape we've been trying to make since the beginning of this channel, since the very first time I ever saw somebody make that shape. I was like, how do I do that? I don't know how to make that. And the thing that is really making it make that shape over the other shapes is actually this distortion we are running over both of them. So both of these are going into kind of a bus here called, so I'm just calling this sound Spiky Diamonds. And I have this setting. This is a default preset that I tweaked a little bit and just turned the knobs until it sounded good and looked good. I will say also that the sub is not very strong in this bass. But again, I don't know, like Well, the sub is pretty good in there. You know, we're making progress. We're learning things, little steps at a time. Does it sound good in the beat though? I don't know. Maybe it sounds good. Maybe it doesn't. It's funny that I feel like when I like get into the weeds and like understand how the sounds work, they become so much less magical. Where like Vengeance sound is just like this womp sound. It sounds like this big like space dragon like spitting lasers at me. Where mine sounds like a Vital patch that I built. Like I think it's a little bit of that kind of like artist dysphoria where you can't like appreciate your own work sort of thing. So maybe there's a little bit of that going on there. Still got a lot of work to do on learning how to make drum and bass overall. But as far as bass sound design, I do think we are making progress. Not quite there, but progress. Good moves today. Glad to be where we're at. So, yep, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.